I haven't got any circus skills at all. I can't juggle, I can't throw the knife at the lady, I can't tame the lion, and I can't crack the whip or jump into the small bucket. Can't do any of those things.
The thing that excites me about performing is that it's a release of any tensions that you might have inside you.
Ooh. I'm not sure whether it does excite me anymore, it's just the money.
It does me. The thing that excites me about performing really is the fact that you're doing something good, you're making people laugh.
Except the ones that walk off.
Except the ones that walk off, and, you know.
It's a kind of two-way thing, seeing people enjoy and just connecting with them, you know what I mean? I kind of like that about it, really.
You've got to communicate with the audience, but not to look at them, because you are apart from them, and it will break the illusion.
I normally try and interact with an audience, but with 800 it becomes really difficult. But I actually think I managed. And that's an amazing feeling to just see that you're making an impact.
Like I was doing a job in Brighton recently, and then had a real buzz about it. And then I was in Suffolk or somewhere like that, doing an agricultural show, and people had come to look at the cows.
I had to stand on one leg and do a raspberry, go arse over, what's it, in front of 250 people. And I bonked my head. I thought it was a goner. And I heard them, as I hit the floor, go, and it was weird because it took off. I just flew. And I was just so embarrassed. I was like, no, I'm fine, just get back on, I'm fine.
We spent a huge amount of time when we were on the road exercising. We would stay up all night long practicing our handstands. We used to spend hours balancing and tumbling and helping each other learn tricks and use our bicycles, that sort of thing.
I can do nothing like that. I can't even juggle.
Well, can I? I juggle with two things, but not with three.
That's not really juggling, is it?
No, it's chucking stuff up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from doing a bit of stretching, a bit of yoga, trying to get my foot behind my neck and stuff like that, you know, just to kind of loosen the old gizzard areas. Everyone used to get down and do bang out 20, drop and give me 20. So we used to do that. And then all stick our knuckles together like loads of bravado-y kind of, you know, blokey business, and put your knuckles together, you know, things like that, really, yeah.
You need to warm all those areas up, your body, and then moving on to your voice. And I start to hum, a kind of there's opening your voice and going, you know,
many men, many men, many men, men, many men, many men, many men, men.
In tooting two tutors astute, try to toot to a duke on a flute.
Paba à moi, tadala rigor.
That kind of thing, you know, it's all kind of croaking out. But it opens up your voice, it relaxes and strengthens your vocal cords, it warms everything up.
I don't find the clowns funny. I do begrudge them coming on. I find it quite insulting.
No, what I enjoy about clowns, I think they're very talented actually, because when clowns get together at the circus, they can do things that are very funny, like they can throw custard pies at each other and things in a very funny way to make a lot of people laugh, and you have to be very talented to be able to do that. You have to be an entertainer.
No, oh my goodness, no way. They're so horrible. They're really frightening, and I think a lot of people are scared of clowns.
And they're very funny, actually.
If it's badly done, it can be very sad.
Oh, it's totally embarrassing. Yeah, I don't like clowns.
It doesn't work out. You feel pity for them, and that's so awful.
Clowns are creepy, aren't they? They're not funny at all. They're just weird.
don't look like they're happy. You know, the way they're painted smiles and their hair. And I don't like the music, that that horrible roundabout music with, clowns aren't not my...
Slapstick just isn't funny, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? A car falling apart and somebody falling over. It's like...
The one I first saw when I was a little kid was called Doodles. Yes, I like the clowns. I like slapstick.
One of the things we least like about what we do is
working with each other.
Yeah. You're constantly having to travel with each other, work with each other, be creative.
Do interviews.
Do everything together.
If there aren't a few butterflies around in the tummy before you go on stage, you're probably not going to give a good performance. You've got to be keyed up.
You'd think after all this time I wouldn't, but yes, I still do. I still freak out and panic and fear, the audience reaction to me, and then I get over it.
You feel sick sometimes. But as soon as I go on stage, I think, well, this is it. I can't turn back now. I'm on. Oh, God, here comes the light. The light's going up. Inside, the real me is saying, oh, my God. Here we go. Why am I doing this? I love it when I'm doing it. I know I love it when I'm doing it, but why am I doing it? I'm glad I didn't have too much to eat.
We did a show a couple of years ago, and 8,000 kids saw it in a week. We had about 1,000 kids per performance. And the kids were like, they were 8 or 9, screaming blue murder. Oh, I've never been so scared in all my life. I must be stupid. And you get out there, and you look out and you think, they're just loving it. And they're completely engrossed in what you're doing.
It's knowing that whatever I take on to perform in front of the audience, actually, it comes through me. It's something that I take on, and it just kaboom.
Every time I went on, I could just feel the people laughing at me. It was fantastic. That gives me such a buzz. Such a hell of a buzz.
We turned down Freddie Starr, didn't we?
We turned down Freddie Starr.
Freddie Starr couldn't pay enough for us.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of our career, I think.
That was the
Really
highlight of our career, turning down Freddie Starr.
That's something I hadn't really considered, appearing on television. But if the chance came, yes. Yes, it would be a new dimension.
I am scared of heights a bit. I think I could get over it though.
The circus is, it's a bit boring, isn't it, really?
If there's something that annoys you, something that gets on your nerves, something that is the one thing that sets you off, that is a pet hate.
Pet hates. What I hate, pet hates. I don't hate too much. I'm annoyed by certain things, so can we go for pet annoyances? Yeah, instead of hates. Yeah, that's better.
Of someone who's a noisy eater.
Oh, yes.
That really annoys me.
Like that, Joan. Yes, like that.
Oh,
That's
God.
annoying.
The pair of yous are annoying. Very nice, though.
Please, you enjoyed it?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Very nice. At the expense of our ears.
Frustrating the life out of her.
I burst a couple of blood vessels there. I don't like that
Yes,
at all.
Joan, that's a pet hate.
I already
Doing
got
it
plenty.
again?
Yeah, annoyances. Yeah, what annoys you? You. Okay, fine. I think that wraps up that question. Can we move on to the next one now?
No, let's elaborate. Let's find out why I find you annoying.
It is very self-righteous, actually.
No.
You
No,
are.
I'm
You
not
always
having
think
that.
you're right.
No,
I like to
no.
get the last word.
No, that's not right.
Well, I think you do think you're right.
No, I've changed a lot.
But there you're doing it now, saying I'm wrong, so you're right.
Well, I'm hardly going to say, oh yes, I am self-righteous.
Not in a horrible way, though.
Oh, what's a nice way of being
I
self-righteous?
don't know, it's just you. I'm just used to you being like that.
Right. Self-righteous? No. No.
What do you think about speed cameras?
Eating?
Speed cameras.
Sorry.
Speed cameras.
Nope. Don't get it.
Do you know what speed cameras are?
Cucumbers.
I don't drive myself, but if everybody obeyed the rules, the traffic would go much better and everybody would get there quicker. Like on the motorways, this happened travelling back from Snowdon. We were sticking to the rules and regulations of 40 miles per hour, and there were still cars coming past, and I was shouting and cheering to the speed camera saying, "Get that one, get that one."
Speed cameras.
Bees, honey.
No, speed cameras. You know, to catch cars if they go. Yeah, speed cameras.
No.
Because I can't stand listening to the radio, because the radio I find really irritating. I can't stand just having loads of noise in my head. I hate that. I just like to have silence in the morning, and if there's any noise, it's just me talking to myself.
Sometimes when you're talking, I feel I'm coming in a bit too quick before you finish the sentence, and I'm thinking,
We all do that.
I shouldn't have done
And
that.
the other thing is,
And
I find
I need myself for
saying
doing
the words
it.
for you. Say the words.
Yeah, I don't like people breathing down my neck. No, I don't like anybody breathing down my neck. And it makes the hairs on my back of my neck stand up if I can feel somebody breathing down my neck. Get back.
Drunk people. I hate them. They behave like a gang of wild animals who are not animals. They're loud, they shout, birds fly off. They're singing hip-hop song that doesn't make sense to anybody. And they're wearing these white trainers and walking like orangutans normally, yeah? The hands is forward, the bend, and they're going like...
It's just like if you're driving down the motorway, now they sling bleeding coke cans out the window at 60 and 70 mile an hour.
Do they?
Yeah, that's happened to me 2 or 3 times in the last couple of months. All of a sudden some practice slings a coke can out the window and it goes bouncing along and goes past your window about 70 mile an hour. And hope as you're driving along that the thing don't bounce on your motor, innit? Because you end up with dents everywhere. You end up with hammer finish. Hammer finish motor.
The best thing you can do is leave traces of poo in the way, because they're actually not looking at all on the ground, they're looking at the girls around them. They step on it, they walk with it, then starting to smell. So they blame each other and they look at the sole of the shoes and that's it. They've been hit by us. It showed them that you can be dangerous, but in a smelly way.
This is a funny question. What do you think your most unappealing habit is, both of you?
Energetic.
Unappealing habit.
Unassuming habits.
Unappealing.
I've no
Sort of
idea.
nasty habits. If you've got any bad habits.
None.
None.
Oh, no, we haven't any bad habits.
No.
Bad habits. When people say something, I pretend I haven't heard them, so they repeat it again. That's a bad
What
habit.
for?
Just do it.
Dave's got some bad habits. He goes like that with his jaw. Really annoys me. Like,
Oh, Dougie does this? I mean, what good's that, anybody?
well, I don't know what Dave does. It's as if like his jaw's locked and he has to go.
God.
My habit is, and this
I
has
do
been
that.
explained to me by my children as well.
Yeah, this has been
When I
explained to me
say-
by my children.
When I say a joke, I go on to
Explain it.
What's that?
somebody's flushed the toilet upstairs.
I have a few bad habits. I tend to scratch a lot, and I also, unknown to me, I tend to pass wind a lot when I'm in public, but that doesn't really worry me because you've got to pass wind or you might blow up.
What's that mean?
Bad smells.
Yeah, that's natural, isn't it?
Not that much, isn't natural.
You've got that many bad habits. I don't know if we've got all evening to discuss them.
I don't think I have I? Hey? What bad habits have I got? Pardon you.
Pardon me.
Yeah, you can't not do it, can you? It's not like biting your nails, which you just do.
You don't have to force it so much.
Don't force it, just...
You do. Like that.
It's not true.
I hate spiders and I hate spiders and spiders and spiders.
As I say, I think we're being used by people. Our tolerance is being used by people for their own ends. I was most annoyed with the election of the last Labour Party. We weren't really bothered about what they did.
British food, I think, is first class. It's somehow clean, satisfying.
English food is very bland, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not terribly spicy, I'm not either.
Oh, no,
or I like the spices and the spices don't like me, you know what I mean?
No, I like spices. And I like all kinds. There's nothing around here anyway, is there?
The trouble with the foods we eat now, there's too much fat in them. And the worst thing that happens in this country, there's too many people eat chips.
Ooh. Egg and chips. Egg chips, gammon. Chip butties.
I mean, at lunchtime, instead of kiddies going down and buying a couple of apples or a couple of pears, what do? They go to the chip shops and buy chips. And when they get home at night, they have chips again.
You know, if I have too much chocolate, I get a bit fat and I put on a lot of weight.
Yeah, she eats really well for a diet. I mean, I pile weights on and she piles it off. So I think what she loses, I gain.
I try and eat healthily.
And she eats brown bread and all the rest of it. Apples and bananas, you name it, she eats it.
The main staple diet for runners is...
We had, in fact, we had wild strawberries, little wild strawberries. And of course, if it was acorn time, you could always eat an acorn. And even the thistle, you could always peel the top off of the thistle.
Are you talking about food? I go to a restaurant, I like everything.
Everything.
You know, not one particular, like a Mexican or a thing. That's no good for me.
There are one or two foreign foods that do have rice pudding, proper pizzas. Like some of the deep pan pizzas.
The crust on top, amazing, and then that gooey stuff inside. But that sort of poo is a lot healthier, horse poo and cow poo. Cow pats are fantastic to look at, though, with all those dung beetles crawling around inside them.
As long as it's filling and barely edible, I'll pretty much eat it. I'm always too hungry to be picky.
I didn't like to eat anything really that was contaminated by any insect. Although we put up with it when you're hungry. I never ate it, that I know of. May have done. I don't know.
Horse poo is very good, you know, but human poo and dog poo, that's poisonous, I think.
Yeah, but if you eat a bit of dirt, it don't matter, does it?
No, they reckon you eat a pound of dirt anyway. In your lifetime, they reckon you eat a pound of dirt. God. Without even knowing.
I used to go around the back of shops, supermarkets, going down the back of the skips to get
No
the
problem.
chocolate out.
Yeah, I've eaten food that's been a week old and what have you. Anything from frozen to tins. I used to find all sorts of food in the skips. I was like liberating it.
And then there's elephant poo, which is enormous. And lion's poo, now that must frighten anybody off.
I don't catch flies because they eat poo, and I don't like poo.
Like eating dirt, you got your trace elements in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, and it builds up your resistance to infections
Exactly.
as well. So it ain't a bad thing, I don't think.
Dirt on food. Dirt on what? Dirt on food can kill you. You can put one mouthful of dirty food in your mouth and you can be a goner. Can you ask me that question?
I think I've ate more lead shot than I've certainly ate oysters. I think that's probably, I don't know, it's probably why my brain's a bit funny, or, yeah.
Dog and cat food.
It smells absolutely disgusting,
Well,
doesn't
it's
it?
very strong.
Horrible.
It's very strong.
Oh, I don't think I'd like to eat a sheep's eyeball or an intestine of a cow or something like that. But if you've got all these sort of intestines and all these sort of, not so appetising bits of animals, then they mix it all up in a mixer and then they call it
I don't want to sound like a cannibal, but there again, we all went out for a meal and the chicken was so horrible. I could vomit all night and never stop. That was really, really horrible.
Horrible. Yeah, bloody milk cartons. Goes everywhere, milk, anything. There's too many bags in the world.
God help the people with arthritis.
Yes,
they never open them.
they can't.
It's terrible.
Even to tea bags, even to get the stuff.
The
It's
cellophane on it, you
ridiculous.
can't open it. The biscuits you can't open. All packages.
And a packet of ham, which I don't very well.
It's terrible. They're not none of the
By the time you open it, you don't want the ham.
No. Oh gosh, yes.
I hate seafood. I really, absolutely detest it. I did eat a fish once, about 2 years ago, and I think they're disgusting.
Now, I like prawns and all the shellfish. I mean, I know they're lovely, but I'm always afraid in case you get the one that will turn your stomach.
Whelks, mussels. That's like eating slugs.
Is it?
Oysters and stuff.
I've never tasted a slug.
Ugh, sliding down your gullet.
But you don't eat slugs,
Like
do you?
eating a slug.
Well, how do you know when you've never had one?
That's how I would imagine it to be.
I love salads. Same as I'd rather have a salad than a roast dinner.
We eat a lot of salad in the summer, don't we? More in the winter.
Salt, a bit of tomato. Can't beat a bit of salt.
Can't beat a bit of lettuce.
Well, I mean, I feel very healthy. The only thing that I have problems with is digestion, and I don't know what is wrong with my digestion. I mean, it's just like I just fart all the time,
I've got a windy stomach, so like a lot of things I would not eat if it would upset me. But other than that, no, I'm not a diet person.
Vegetarian is all right, but when they cut out everything, because some of them don't eat, well, they're vegans, is it? Vegans, I think that's hard.
I've been a vegetarian a long time, and when I'm angry, I sometimes lapse and just go and bite something. It's made out of meat, and then I feel guilty afterwards.
Vegetarians, I think they're sort of trying to be better than the rest of us. It's been proved, as far as I know, that the best thing to eat is a bit of yourself.
Actually, beans gives me wind and lemonade makes me burp.
What are you looking at?
Thank you very much.
As I look down, I can see an empty beer keg standing beside a plastic bucket full of don't know what. And looking out further, a melange of undergrowth and rubbish and rocks and bricks and concrete and shoes, and then in the distance the marvellous vista of the motorway. It's like a dream come true.
What's the neighbourhood like round here, both of you?
Down in the ghetto, that's where the life is so cold.
We don't live in the ghetto. It's an inner city we live in.
It's an urban redevelopment scheme. The council really wants to know.
Urban.
You know what I mean?
Remember, state the word.
This is one of the best neighbourhoods you could live. The way it's handed to the centre of town, also to the local village at Stockton Heath. So I just love living here. I have done since the first day we moved in, especially because of the people who live around here. But that's, forget that bit.
I know it's not mine. It's beyond my wildest dreams because it's really upmarket. And I'm not kidding you, I would never have dreamt in a million years when I was in Newcastle, I would be living in a place like this.
It's a lot better.
Much nicer. Yeah. Much nicer.
Lot bigger.
Yeah. A lot
Yeah.
more
Much
room.
more
spacious, yeah.
More garden.
Nice to have a garden, yeah.
And dare I say it, more than one loo.
Yes.
My dream house would be like really modern day. There would be an elevator to go upstairs. My feet get tired going up to bed. I was just like, I have to keep on climbing it every hour.
That wall there, for about 3 foot up, was running with water when we moved in. And I was a long while trying to work out why.
No. No, what's a stupid question? Damn problem. No, I don't think so.
And what do you mean by that, kind sir?
What do you mean, substance? Substance? What's a substance?
Subsidence.
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 Yeah.
Subsidence.
You're lean.
Yeah, I'm lean. Yeah, I've got a leaning problem. Yeah.
No, you mean if... What do you mean, Dad?
Subsidence? We don't get any subsidence here.
Nothing here at all.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. I don't think we get it here.
I mean, some people lay stones on sand, but I don't agree with that. I lay stones on clay, which is what is underneath, and I use the Italian system of ramming it in sideways when it's moist, and then jumping on it. Jumping and jumping and jumping. You can actually cause yourself varicose veins if you do that.
It was built by boys who knew how to build houses in the 1950s, because that's built with brick. See? A lot of these houses you see now, they're just thrown up. This one was built putting one brick on top of the other. I think I'm here permanent now, absolutely permanent.
I've been here for over 2 years now.
Yes,
because
I've been here about 2 years.
I've been here
I
4
think-
years.
I think I'm longer than you.
Yes. You would have, yes. I became...
I'm not sure how long I've been.
You were here when I came. I've been here 4 years. Roughly 4 years.
I can't remember.
Enjoyed every
I
minute
think
of
I've
it.
been longer than 2 years, I'm sure of that.
You have been, yes.
Well, it's just nice to know that there's, like, I come here and there's people like Muriel and a few hundred, well, a few.
Yes,
yes,
a few.
And they're all the same. We're all here for the same purpose.
Companionship,
That's it.
friendship, conversation. We talk about past lives sometimes, future. What we're going to do tonight.
Monday I wait for Thursday, Thursday I wait for Monday.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I know you
No,
didn't, but
mine
I
was
do.
I said to one of them, did you have a nice weekend?
But we did say that, I mean, we quite like it, don't we? We did say if we win the lottery, we'd put a swimming pool and we'd be quite happy here, wouldn't we? Like to somewhere sort of like warm in the winter and then come back here in the summer because I do like it here.
Spain. Yeah. Spain.
Spain.
Southern Spain.
I don't know. Haven't really given it too much thought.
Miami would be nice.
I've noticed when you pass people down here and you're smiling to say good morning, you sort of wouldn't do that in Newcastle. In Newcastle, they would think you were soft. I mean, you just didn't do that. People just sort of walk past each other and bump into each other. But down here, it's just nice and friendly and I like it. I mean, it's great.
It's friendly, although we don't mix. No, that ain't the right word. We don't walk in and out of each other's houses, but everybody's friendly, everybody speaks when you see them. No, I can't think of anything I really dislike about it.
Well, you don't know what's around the corner, but I can't be doing with moving again.
Well, the shop's around the corner.
What do you mean, the shop's around the corner?
Well, there's the hairdressers, the shoe shop, the clothes shop.
What's that
And there
got
was a
to-
post office. Well, you said you never know what's round the corner, and I do. I do know what's round the corner.
Yeah, I'm not going to move them all. It's too hard to work for one thing. This is where we are. We'll finish up here. I like it anyway.
What would I say I like about this neighbourhood? The views. I mean, the views are just sunset to sunrise, sunrise to sunset. Wonderful views. Yeah.
Here comes the rain. Oh dear. I think it'll go. Seems to be.
It'll just be a passing drop.
With the bedroom with a big leak in the roof. No. Which we don't know where it's coming from because nobody's bothered to look.
Because I like to call myself lucky. But having your house struck by lightning on the first day when you move in seems to me that ain't such a lucky thing.
There's a Royal Marines is here, and then there's the prating of the hounds, prating of the sheep, cattle, horses, all right, and pigs as well. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah.
Could I explain what the county show is? The county show is a social occasion for people who live in the countryside. They bring their best farm animals to the show to compete with each other. And it's generally a big social occasion where people meet together and they go and have a look and chat. It's all good fun, really.
Well, we're very fond of the Bath and West because they always make you welcome, and here you get free straw for the cattle, and everybody is helpful, and you get paid for the milk here, which you don't at some shows, and it's nice to meet your friends.
I wouldn't say it's a great social side to rabbits.
Well, no. You do meet a lot of...
meet a lot of people. We're all friends because we're in the same club.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been involved since I was 3 or 4. My parents were both very horsey. I'm planning to go totty hunting a bit later, but I gotta run. Well, that's after I've jumped my class, because otherwise I'll run out of time. And I'll get in trouble by the parents because I haven't done my job properly. But plenty of time for everything.
Things have changed a terrific amount. Yeah, they really have. You know, things were a lot slower, and there wasn't the rush and tear that there is today. There wasn't, you know, and...
Well, donkeys are so intelligent. A lot of people don't think they are, but donkeys are so intelligent, it's unbelievable. They're almost as intelligent, I would say, as a dog.
We've got one donkey that came from the middle of London. That got too much for his owner. We've got another donkey that came from Ross-on-Wye. We've got another donkey that's came in with another donkey, and then we've got another donkey that came with the little donkey that we've got.
Anybody standing there like you hasn't the faintest idea what we're talking about. It's all it's a word. What's the word?
No.
Other people wouldn't understand what we're talking about. They wouldn't. To watch the eggs being judged, people say, "How would you judge an egg?" But to some people, eggs are so important, and to get them just right, other people just eat them on breakfast. No.
My main reason for being competitive is because I know the more I win, the more girlfriends I'll have. And the more girlfriends I have, probably the more I'll win, because the more support I'll get, just as I go in a big pressure class. So the idea is to keep winning and keep gaining lots of girlfriends at these shows.
So first prize goes to number 116, Bowsdown Alpacas, Oxfordshire.
The judge we've got today is from Peru, Dr. Julio Sumar, and he is one of the best regarded judges in the world, and he's come here especially from Peru to judge today. Only I think he's going to be here till midnight at this rate, so...
You're all in a line and the judge is walking up and down behind you and then walks up and down in front of you, and then he moves up and he pats or slaps on the back of the animal that's the winner, and that animal moves forward. So you're there and he moves towards you. This is it. And then the bucker turns and goes up the other way, and then he comes back. And it's a terrific feeling when he slaps and then the crowd all applaud. And it's great feeling.
Oh yeah, it's like a drug. It's like you've had a large scotch suddenly, and then you go on to having a whole bottle, and you keep coming back for more, and you want more, and when you get more, you want more, and you feel quite elated afterwards and really excited. Yeah, it's really good.
I think you could say that show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser.
If you keep waterfowl, number one, you're going to need a pond. Especially if you keep white ones. But if you ain't got a pond, and you've only got little dishes and buckets, then everything's all mucked up. And then it's 10 times more work.
A little bit disappointing in the results, because the best eggs for the show were actually duck eggs, and I did really well with my chicken eggs and got lots of prizes, but I've been beaten by duck eggs, so it's a waterfowl against chicken, which is disappointing.
You're trying to maintain a standard to get the ones which will go on to the next stage of breeding, and so it's constant selection towards perfection. Breed like rabbits, forget it. Hell no.
All the pigs here, of course, are pedigreed. We can go back generations. A pig without a pedigree is just a pig.
And there's no problems with the confirmation at any aspect of it. The animal is a well-conformed animal.
You do occasionally get people cheat. They use the same eggs for more than one show, or use them for quite a few shows in some cases, but you normally get caught out if you cheat. They hard boil the eggs so that they don't go off, and use the same eggs again and again. Or
buy them.
Yeah, there may be people that buy them. I don't know. I don't buy my eggs personally.
No.
No. Not at all.
I've never shown eggs. Only when I was forced to once.
When you're checking out the competition, you wait until they all go back to their truck and trailers for their evening meal or whatever, and then you come up and have a good look round late at night in the twilight hours.
There are stories about cows that have been milked out and in the middle of the night, and bulls that have suddenly gone lame, and all this kind of capers, and blown up with wind because someone's put someone in the food or whatever. But I mean, that's a kind of their stories, and that happens very, very infrequently.
We've had one or two very slight instances over the last 5 years, but in the old days, when there was. I'm just giving an interview to a gentleman who's doing a TV series, Carl, and I'll give you a ring right back, all right? Okay. Sorry about that.
Thank you very much.
I don't think they'll ever die out. It may do in time, but because really, when you've got animals, little ones like to come and see it all the time. They always want to see a pig or a sheep or a rabbit. So that's all I'm going to tell you anyway. If you want to know any bloody more, you better sort that out yourself.
I love this environment. I mean, it's great fun. The one thing that everybody has in common when they walk through that door is they love their animals.
Most pet shops are quite loud because they have birds in and they're always sort of singing, if you can call it singing. And there's lots of cages. And you sometimes, if you can put your finger through the bar and tickle what's ever inside like a rabbit.
At the end of the day, most of it's the U factor, the R factor, you know. That's, oh, look at that, you know. Cute little kitten.
It's awful to think that we're sitting there waiting for somebody to pluck us out of the air and take us home and keep us forever, you know. But at the same time, I'm never brave enough to go and make the first move and go up to somebody and say, right, you, how about taking me home and looking after me and loving me and cherishing me?
I think, yeah, go for things that are obvious. Dogs and cats and the like. I mean, there's all sorts of people, they have things in their bathrooms and all sorts, don't they, alligators and that sort of thing. Wouldn't have it in my bathroom, I can say. Nope, wouldn't.
He's called Chester, and he is very long when he stretches himself out. If you annoy me, his eyes sort of widen a bit.
I don't think that I'm awful looking, I think I'm all right looking. People always say that I've got very open, honest eyes. So I think that I would be pretty nice to have around and have hanging about the place on the sofa.
I don't know. A lot of old nonsense, I think, really. So, I mean, you need to spend proper amounts of money on things, but you see some of these dogs that people have about. No, I don't think you need to spend a lot on them.
Dog toys, well, they love running and fetching things, so we've got balls on ropes, and lots of dogs, especially the smaller dog, like a Yorkshire Terrier, likes a squeaky toy. That's a high-pitched one, or just for a laugh, we've got ones that'll go.
We went to a friend's last weekend, and this poor little hamster's in this wheel thing for its exercise.
Well, it had a little car. It was a Volkswagen Beetle with a wheel in the middle, and it actually, by working the wheel, moved across the carpet.
Poor old hamsters running round on the wheel. Why do they do it? Because they're as daft as a 2-bob watch, I should think. Them poor bloody hamsters thinking, I could get out of here in about 2 minutes flat. And then they find out they ain't going nowhere. Just like the rest of us. We're all on the bloody wheel ourselves, aren't we?
Dogs are just stupid. People go on about how
stupid as stick insects. Stick insects are the most stupid creatures in the world. I mean, look at me pretending to be a log. Isn't that clever? Oh, I'm a little twig. Isn't that great? I mean, dogs are far better than that.
I think cats make good pets.
There's quite a lot of cats with bad breath, though. That's what I don't like about them.
Cats?
Yeah.
I like stick insects. I once got a train journey with me and 2 stick insects. It was brilliant.
I know, and I very much like a stick insect, but not as a intellectual conversationalist. I mean, hey, have you seen my log impression? Yes. You know, doesn't go much further than that, does it?
Stick insects don't have a developed vocal tract. That wouldn't happen. I think, though, dogs are stupid.
I don't really like snakes. Spiders I can live with, but I've never touched a snake. I almost did, but no, they're not our thing.
I feel isolated. I feel alone. I think I can hear something scraping on the outside, and I don't know what it is. I'd like there to be someone here with me,
Snakes can be dangerous to other pets. They can swallow things whole, and they do eat mice and small rodents whole without chewing.
Now, I like the furries and the tortoises because I've got tortoises. I love tortoises, but they're still asleep at the moment.
Oh, sleep's really important to me. Yeah, I mean, I go through passages when I need to have a lot of it, and it's just good. I mean, man, come on. It must be, in the top 3 of everybody's list. Your bed, I mean, top 3, top 2, top 1, maybe the top. My bed, wow.
Sometimes the pet, when people are looking, will actually do something to say, I'm the one you want. Here I am. You want me? I'll have me.
It's like I've been sitting on a bench with all of my friends. It's like being at a dance, one by one, somebody's come up and taking them away. And then there's just me.
How much am I worth? I would find it very hard to put a value on that.
On a good day, I would say that I'd be worth a fair lump sum.
Do I say £1 million or do I say £10 million?
I don't think I'm that valuable. I think I'm worth about £142 probably.
At the end of the day, if you're the right person, you can buy me for 10p.
But the rest of the time, on days when maybe I'm feeling a bit grumpy and I'm sort of having an off day with people and I'm not in my normal friendly state of mind, I wouldn't pay a penny for me. I'd throw me back and choose another one.
I want a price ticket on myself.
No, not at all.
No,
I wouldn't even sell you.
I wouldn't sell you either.
Ah.
I don't know if I worry about being left on the shelf, because at the end of the day, I've come through sort of many years of being on my own and having a really great time. And I think, well, if I was on my own, I'd just continue to live life. And if it was at this standard, I wouldn't have a lot to complain about.
I've sort of been on and off the shelf, as they say, really. There's been a time when I thought I was on the shelf, and then I got took off again.
Everyone gets rejection in life. When you're younger, you're more able to actually cope with that, I think, and bounce back. And you're not on the shelf for long.
I know that it will be okay in the end, but I am very pessimistic. I think it's going to take a long time before I get out of here.
The icing on the cake would be the partner or the companion who would be there with me for the next number of years.
And so I'm nicely happy now in my life, having been took off the shelf, and that's like a nice family that I'm in now, and that's very comfortable sort of feeling.
Jill has a tendency, most mornings actually, to claim that at some point during the previous night I farted very loudly.
I think snakes and spiders are more scared of you than you are of them.
I have a phobia of being shut in an incredibly small space. Like my ultimate, the idea of being buried alive with no space in a box. Oh man.